Hello and welcome to the Part-Time Gamers, the gaming podcast for people with full-time lives. I'm your host, Searanex, and I'm joined by my good friend, Gristle.
Hello.
Hello, everyone. 9 to 12 wasn't feeling all that great, so she's going to be sitting out this time, but still got Gristle, still got me, so we're going to two-man this, and it's still going to be awesome. Because
I'm not sick, so whatever.
Because reasons.
Right.
So how have you been the last couple weeks?
I'm doing all right. Busy. You know, school as usual. It's just like nonstop. But also planning for the good old D&D campaign is like in the forefront of my mind right now. So I'm having trouble focusing on school.
That's understandable.
Which, it should be the other way around, but it's not. So I need to get into a mindset every time I go to start a project or something. I'm like, oh crap, don't think about D&D right now.
Yeah.
Not time for this.
I'm really excited to introduce my new character. And I think it was pretty epic how we retired my previous one. So
yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be cool. It'll definitely be sweet. Nobody really has. Dan was really concerned that you just stopped playing. And I was like, no, don't
switching characters.
Right.
Couldn't really just keep justifying a lawful good paladin venturing with a bunch of not good allies. I know there's ways of doing it. It was just getting tiring to justify all the time.
I get it. That can be hard to keep up.
Yeah,
that's understandable.
But I think my new character will be pretty interesting. Good addition to the party.
Dan was funny though. He's like, "Oh no, are we gonna be in trouble? I mean, if Sean doesn't come back as like a fighter or a barbarian, we're gonna be screwed." And I was like, "You don't have to worry."
Just like, nope, you don't have to worry.
You're gonna be fine. Don't worry about it. So that'll be fun.
Yeah, although it might be a little bit difficult scheduling the next campaign because the next 2 Fridays, I'm going to be doing night shifts.
We're not doing it the next 2 Fridays.
Okay, then we should be good.
It's gonna be a little bit. Noah's got his game this Sunday, so he and I are trying to get, because our schedules, we were hosting games that's another thing that I've been doing, is trying to kind of get back into the swing of things now that the school year started for the boys and school started again for the law school, so all the students are coming back. So we're trying to get it so our games are not scheduled for the same weekends or even a weekend next to each other, because it's just too much. I don't have that much time, and he just started, he's been working now, so he doesn't have time either. So it's been a lot harder. So I guess over the last 2 weeks since we last talked, I've just been super, super busy. That's pretty much what it is.
Yeah, I've been right there with you the last couple weeks. I've been getting full-time hours. And then next week I have almost full-time hours, and then the week after that I go back down to drastically part-time.
Thank God for that.
Which
I'm sure you're looking forward to that.
I'm looking forward to it in the fact that I don't have to work quite as much, but it will take a hit to my paycheck. I mean,
it's a double-edged sword.
Yeah, it is. But just this week our full-time opener has been on vacation, so I've been doing opening shifts, which starts at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And I am not a person who is used to getting to bed at 10 o'clock.
Sure. Well, see, the weird thing is I am. We're in bed usually on the weekdays, we're in bed by 9.
Jeez. You're lame.
Yeah, I mean, not usually sleeping until 10. But I mean, true. Alicia's up at 5 almost every morning, and then there are some mornings that I'll be up that early or at least 6 o'clock, and you need it. Eventually you need to go to bed at 9 or 10. Looking forward to that. But
it's just I'm a night owl, so I'm used to going to bed at 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, but having to force myself to be in bed trying to sleep by 10 o'clock at the latest so I could get 6 hours of sleep is a thing for me. So last night was not one of those good nights, and mind you, doing all of this with the newborn.
Yep. Man, yeah. That's so. I don't envy you that. That's way too much.
Yeah. Oh, so if things are a little bit scattered right now, it's because I'm running on like about an average of 3 hours of decent sleep, if not less.
That's what caffeine's for. You'll be all right.
Yeah,
You'll
except
pull it
caffeine hasn't worked
together.
for me in years.
Well, maybe you just need to drink more of it.
You're talking
That's
to
right.
someone who will typically drink 4 kickstarts in a day.
Maybe you need to just get an IV drip,
That
Hook it
would.
right up next to your computer.
The problem is then I have to bring along that big pole thing that has the IV on it. It's just inconvenient.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's the inconvenience is the problem, not the fact that your heart would give out at 40. That's not a problem. That's fine. That's like just a side effect that you're gonna have to live with. But
yeah, whatever.
right, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, all right. Well, I'll. Yeah, it's just things have been busy. Thankfully, it'll be lightening up soon, so I'm glad for that.
Yeah, no kidding.
I just got one more opening shift tomorrow, and should be good.
Good, very good.
Yeah, but with that, we can go ahead and jump into our water cooler talk. So go ahead and tell us about what you brought today.
What did I bring today? What didn't I bring today is really a better question. I
You
have
brought an article.
I have an article which really I don't know anything about the source. I'm sure it's fine. It's from the Express. It's like a UK news site.
Okay.
Anyways, it doesn't really matter where it comes from because the news is all about the Nintendo Switch games that have been announced recently. So they've got like Doom, Wolfenstein 2, and there's updates to like Skyrim. So, and the interesting thing is, it's not so much that I'm like, oh, this is exciting news, because for me, it's not really. I mean, like I play on the PC, and these games have been out for a long time, especially Skyrim, so it's no big deal. What's interesting to me is the fact that Nintendo is going ahead and they're just like, let's do it. Bring these games in, because like they haven't. I feel like there hasn't been anything like that since the Nintendo 64 days. Like when they were pulling, they pull in from all different kinds of publishers and stuff. They and then they just stopped. Like the Wii had nothing like that. Even the GameCube, they had some, but it was a lot more like first party title focused. And it's not so much like that anymore, which is interesting. And I saw some, typically what happens, at least with the Wii, like they'd come out with a game that, we're bringing this game to the Wii, and it was like a AAA title or something, and then you'd look at like the side-by-side comparisons, and the Wii version would just suck. But I've seen, like, graphically, I can't speak for the gameplay, but I've seen side-by-sides of like not just Skyrim, but like Doom, and I think I saw some of the Wolfenstein 2, and it looks remarkably similar. And I don't know, I haven't seen gameplay on the Switch yet, but just from the screenshots, it looks it's pretty impressive. I didn't think the hardware in the Switch was all that powerful, but I guess it's powerful enough for that. So
yeah,
that to me is just interesting that that's the direction that they're going, and they're like something for Doom, for instance. They've got multiplayer is available. You have to download it, but it'll be available on launch day. So the fact that Nintendo's still pushing that interactivity and that multiplayer connectivity, which they really kind of generally dropped the ball with the exception of games like Splatoon, that was pretty good, pretty solid multiplayer. But yeah, so that to me is interesting. Also, that's like, it's so like Bethesda focused. I don't know what's going on there.
Well, it's
kind of strange.
Yeah, it's nice that now. Granted, I imagine that the Nintendo Switch still wouldn't be able to compare graphically to like a top of the line gaming PC, but still, I'm sure for like console comparison, it's probably still pretty good. I mean, it's it has, I think I'm just speaking out of my butt now, but
speak out of it, dude.
Yeah.
Speak out of it.
I don't remember if the Switch has 4K or not. I know it doesn't have. I know it has HD, but I don't know if it has
4K. I don't think it does. But I mean, to be completely honest with you, like even my monitor, the one I use at home, is not a 4K.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't. I don't.
Yeah, mine is not even remotely close to that either. So.
Yeah, this says it doesn't. The Switch doesn't have 4K.
Okay.
You can hook it up to a 4K TV, no problem, but it'll only display it in full HD.
All right.
So.
Well, still, full HD is
a
step up from most
for
Nintendo consoles.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't, to me it's weird. Like the weirdest thing to me was the fact that they were releasing Skyrim on it, like that announcement's been out for a while because Skyrim is so old now. I
Yeah.
mean that's
Well,
is that 7 years old now? Something like that.
uh,
I mean, it's
it
pretty
came
old. It
out
came out in 2011, didn't
11,
it?
yeah, 11, 11,
Yeah.
11.
So it's like 6 years old,
Yeah.
almost 7 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah, that to me, like, is crazy. It's a really weird thing for them to want to include, and I don't know if that's like if there's a huge Skyrim gaming community in Japan, and they were like, hey, or maybe they were like,
Well,
oh, Skyrim is huge over in North America. We really need to
well,
include it. I
the
mean,
thing is, I can see Skyrim being very popular on PC because of the modding community.
exactly.
I don't really see it being very popular on consoles where you can't mod it.
I mean, it
I'm
Skyrim's been out for like the 360, and it's been out for
yeah,
is the PS4 or something? One of
yeah,
the I thought one of the Sony consoles had it, but I could be wrong. But and the first version that I got was on the 360, and
yeah, me
then when
too.
I ended up getting it for the PC, I never looked back because
Yeah,
it was just like night and day better. So I'm not sure if they're just trying to reach out. If they feel like the people who are going to buy the Switch consoles maybe have not experienced Skyrim because they don't own like a dedicated gaming PC, so they're going to get the single player experience without the mods. Well, of course, it's all single player. They're going to get the experience without the mods on their console for the first time. Maybe they're going to be super interested in it. I don't know what they're.
yeah,
I would have liked to be a fly on the wall at that meeting at Nintendo just to just kind of see where their heads are at. But I mean, maybe that is just their gateway to like open up for a whole bunch of other Bethesda games. Maybe that's all it was, and
yeah,
that's why now they've got like Doom and Wolfenstein. But anyways, I think it's good. It's all good stuff. You know, I don't
yeah,
have a Switch, but I do still want one. So
yeah. So do I. I at this point I want just about any console, but
well, I don't. Yeah.
but speaking of console news, the article
Yes.
that I'm bringing is
Yes.
uh, Nintendo is going to be bringing back the NES Classic.
Yes.
So in what has got to be one of the most duh moments for Nintendo, uh,
Yeah.
it's
No
like,
kidding.
okay, we're going to have this incredibly popular retro uh, thing that we're going to make, but we're
Yeah.
only going to do it for like one summer. And
They didn't anticipate the sales
yeah,
supposedly.
and so yeah, they're going to be selling them again. I believe it says next summer. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, they're going to be doing new shipments of the NES Classic next summer, which is basically just a bunch of people going to them and say, "Here, take my money."
Yep.
Uh,
You can just hook it right up to my bank account, drain it.
yeah,
I don't even care.
and also, in addition to that, the SNES Classic, which
Yes.
is supposed to be going on sale the 29th, although
Yep.
it's almost impossible to find already just from the pre-sales.
Yeah, they're already bought out.
Yeah,
They're
they
done.
are they're planning to extend those shipments until 2018.
I'm so
Originally
happy
they're
about that.
Yeah, originally they were going to be stopping that at the end of the year, but now they're going to be continuing on to 2018.
I
Um,
got to I got to play the NES Classic when Alicia's sister came up because they brought it, and it was so much fun. I looked at the gaming lineup for the SNES Classic, and I am even more pumped for that. I
yeah,
really want that.
yeah. It says in the article that the NES Classic also includes the previously unreleased Star Fox 2, which will be
Yes.
interesting.
No,
But
that's
yeah,
the SNES.
yes, that's what I said.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
But yeah, it's gonna be another bout of Nintendo raking in the dough
Oh yeah.
and hopefully not making dumb decisions in the future. Uh,
Right. I mean, hopefully they just continually pump those things out because
yeah,
come on, people are they're gonna buy it.
yeah. I mean,
You know.
I can understand them not making this like a super regular thing. Oh, but I could see them like doing shipments like maybe every summer or so.
It's
And so
possible. Yeah.
it does have some sort of demand to it or
Well,
some
I did.
but
There
I don't
was
know.
another article about it that I read that literally, the same sort of story where they're like, oh, they're changing their decision and they're going to go ahead and bring the NES Classic back. But it said actually they had a quote from somebody at Nintendo who said it was maybe it wasn't a quote, but they were encouraging people not to buy them from any third-party sellers. And of course, they have a vested interest because then they're not going to they'll still make money, but their whole thing was they don't want people to drive the prices up of the console unnecessarily because A, it's not fair, and B, it creates a demand that, it's not real. I don't know. It's just.
Yeah, I think I read that same article where they basically said do not buy it for anything more than $80.
Right. Spend the money that you're supposed to spend on it. Don't be like those yahoos and go out and spend $600 on it. And don't get me wrong, people can spend money however they want, but I could not give somebody the satisfaction of, oh God, you spent $80 on, or they probably spent more. They probably bought as many of them as they could so they could resell them. And that to me is just skeevy.
Yeah. But it's good to hear that they'll be bringing them back and having more of the SNES Classics available as well.
Definitely.
Those are two that I would... Now, granted, a lot of it is the nostalgia factor and the fact that it's all in this one unit, because you can get I literally on my computer, one of my coworkers from Olive Garden had a thumbstick that had an emulator and literally every single NES and SNES game on it.
Right.
So I actually still have that on my computer.
There's and the thing is there's debates about the legality of that, because it's okay, did you ever own this game? Do you own it now? And so you could talk about that all day, but the main difference between having that emulator experience and having something on the SNES Classic or the NES Classic is you've got the controller, and you can get USB controllers that are almost a 1-for-1 mimicry of the original Nintendo controllers, which are cool. I haven't actually tried them, and the reviews that I've read about them said that they feel a little bit different. But there's also the fact that this little thing, it's so simple. It has a really cool, very Nintendo-esque menu system built into it. Hooks right up to your TV. It's no problem. And there's something awesome about being able to sit down in front of a Nintendo or a Super Nintendo in front of your TV and you grab the controller. And the cord on both those controllers that we had for the NES Classic when her sister came up, the cord was only one cord was 5 feet and one cord was 3. So it was back in the day, you were forced to sit on the ground in front of the TV or pull a chair up. It was really, I don't know, just it really does trigger that nostalgia feeling. So I don't know, because I've read instructions on how to make, you can make an emulator machine, a little tiny one out of a Raspberry Pi and the right stuff, and it can be pretty cheap. You could do it for cheaper than what they're putting out for the NES Classic.
Yeah, but just having it all in one package with the whole nostalgia of
and it just looks cool, It's just it's really awesome.
Yeah.
So I'll buy one if I can get my hands on one.
Yeah, that's the thing, is first finding one, two having enough money for it for me.
Well, I do know that they're shipping them to places like Target and Walmart and stuff, and I know 2 people now who work at Walmart, so it might be hey, if that comes in, reserve one for me, which they won't do, but I'll give them the money to buy it right then and there.
Yeah. All right. With that, time for us to get back to work. So this week we are going to be talking about a little bit older game.
It's called
a couple years old. Yeah, it is. It's called Mark of the Ninja. And
let me edit these notes here.
Yeah. Sorry, again,
that's
sleep deprivation.
I got you, man.
But Mark of the Ninja is developed and published by Clay Entertainment. Now that we actually know what the pronunciation of it is, they're the same.
Took us forever.
Yeah,
yeah.
It's the same company that made Don't Starve Together.
Great titles.
Invisible Ink.
Yeah.
I think they're still in early access for Oxygen Not Included, which I really want to try as well.
Well, I mean, they're good.
Yeah, they make really solid games.
They really do.
And currently you can find
they're making Hot Lava.
That's right. I forgot about that. Yeah, they're making Hot Lava too. Or
right.
as well.
As well.
Yeah. So you can find Mark of the Ninja on Steam for Windows, Linux, and Mac, and you can find it on Xbox Live. You can download it directly from their marketplace, and you can find it for $14.99, unless it's on sale, which obviously means it'll be cheaper.
Yeah.
But the core of Mark of the Ninja is it's a side-scrolling stealth platformer. So stealth is a huge, huge part of this game. Uh, there, it is possible for your character to fight directly, but it is far less efficient and much more detrimental than just trying to do stealth kills.
You're a ninja,
Yeah,
you got a
obviously
ninja
ninja.
around. Right.
So we're it does have kind of a story behind it. The different missions take you through different areas and everything, and there's a story behind the ninja himself, how he's his tattoos going and stuff like that. But we're going to try to kind of avoid most of that because it is a little bit spoilery.
Right.
But just to say that it does have that little bit of story, and it makes by the end of it you're kind of thinking about the whose side who what side everyone's on by the end of the game. So it's kind of interesting how it does that at the end. Oh, but a couple core elements of the game, it like revolving around the stealth part of it. There's a couple things that take effect. Like obviously lighting is a big factor in the game.
And it
You
looks awesome too.
yes,
The
that's
actual like visual effects, the graphical effects for the light it's really
yeah.
cool.
Just everything about this, the art style, the aesthetics of the game are really solid. Uh,
Yes.
like in regards to the light effects, it's really cool because when you're in the dark, your character actually is blacked out. Like he's just basically completely black. You just see the white outline of him and his outfit.
It's kind of like silhouetted.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that actually applies to anyone that's in the dark. They have
Yep.
this like silhouetted, like just blacked out. See the white outlines of them. As soon as they actually step into the light, though, they have color. You see their full color and everything. And when the ninja gets into the light, not only do you see his full color, but the screen actually lightens up
Yeah.
overall. So it's a really cool mechanic how, and it makes it very distinct that okay, you're in the light, you need to not be there pretty much.
Right.
But
It's a nice little immersive effect.
yeah,
Really brings you into the game.
yeah, and another for the stealth aspect is sound. Sound is a big factor in this game as well.
Yep.
Uh, and it's cool because it gives you
Visual cues.
yeah, it gives you this visual representation of how loud you are by just
Right.
like this like echoing circle around you.
And it's not just you too. It's like
Yeah,
the
it's
enemies as
everything.
well.
Yeah.
So like you can like go up to a door and clearly you can't see on the other side of the door, but you can lean up to it and you can listen. And even if like you had your headphones turned off and you weren't or the sound turned off, which you shouldn't because the sound in this game is really good,
Yeah.
but even if you did, you'd kind of be able to see flashing on the other side of the door, like the visual cue, so that like echoing yellow circle, if somebody's like walking close to the door or walking around in that room, so you know there's people in there,
Yeah.
which is kind of neat.
And also another thing is environmental things. Uh, like you can one of the things you can do is you can hit gongs and stuff like that
Yep.
to distract guards. Another thing that I found out was very detrimental are crows.
Oh yeah.
I mean, there are several occasions when you're walking on top of a roof and you're trying to sneak past a guard and you run into a flock of crows
Uh huh.
and they start flying away, make huge amounts of noise and
Yep.
attract the guard to you.
And those
So
guards are like noise hounds. I mean,
yeah,
if there's any little like if you even if you like land on something a little bit too loud, quote unquote, so like you
yeah,
fall from a really high distance and you hit the ground, like it'll make a pretty loud noise. And if there's a guard too close, he'll come running right over to that spot. So
yeah,
it really makes you think about the tactics that you're going to use when you're trying to like tackle these like
yeah,
very varied maps.
yeah. And now, granted, one thing specific. Speaking of the maps themselves, One thing
Yeah.
that is kind of different about Mark the Ninja as opposed to pretty much all the other games that we mentioned before, Don't Starve and Invisible Ink, the maps in this are not randomized. They
Right.
so each time you go through the map, it's going to be the same.
Yeah, it's laid
And
out like,
yeah,
I mean, it's a single player experience. So like if you play through it once and you play through it again, it's the same experience.
yeah. I mean, they do have a new game plus, so once you get
Hmm.
through the game, you can go back and start over again with all of the items and everything that you've already accumulated. And I imagine it'd probably be more difficult going through it again, uh, but it's still the same layout
Right.
for the maps and such. Oh,
Do you remember what happens when you die?
you just
I'm
start over
trying
at
to.
the last
It just it
checkpoint.
just it just goes back to the last checkpoint. Okay, I
Yeah,
couldn't remember if they had like a not a resurrection system or like a continue system or
no,
something, but I think you can just keep dying
yeah.
and it'll just
There's
warp you back to that last checkpoint.
yeah. It just
It's
sends you back to
forgiving
the
in that
last
way.
checkpoint is all.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, but granted, sometimes that checkpoint is 2 or 3 rooms back, and you have to try
Yeah.
to get through the enemies again. But
And
oh,
I think it's a good thing that they have that in there like that too, because you definitely will die. Like
yeah,
you're gonna make mistakes in this
yeah,
game, even if it's just something like a crow, even if it's
yeah,
something stupid, but it's gonna happen.
yeah. Oh, but one of the things that really drew me to this game is with all the stealth aspects of it, and there's there's a lot of puzzle solving in this.
Yeah.
Not just in the actual puzzles, like okay, you have to try to get to this section so you can, you know, hit this switch so you can, unlock this area or whatever. Not just those legitimate puzzles, but even just like okay, I have to try to get from this location to this location, and there's 4 guards in between there.
Right.
How do I have just like okay, if I'm just going to go ahead and kill the guards, like, okay, how do I kill the guards in such a way that I don't attract attention from the other
Hmm.
guards so I can kill them one by one without them seeing the bodies and stuff like that? Because if a guard sees the body of another dead guard, they have a chance of being terrorized, which puts them
Right.
into a heightened state of awareness. So they'll constantly start turning around. So it makes them much
Which
more
is
difficult to sneak up on. They'll start
yeah.
randomly firing. You know, so
Well,
it's
the cool
like
thing is you can tackle situations like that in multiple ways based on like
absolutely,
the items that you have in your
yeah.
arsenal.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, so that like yeah, you can either do the stealth kills, which are actually really cool, really brutal when you
They're graphic.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean granted it's all cartoony, all of that art aesthetic, but
Right.
they are brutal. They're the ninja is stabbing a guard directly through the face basically and slicing his throat. Oh,
He's kind of like
so
hardcore Batman.
kind of yeah.
Well, I
But
mean, if did you play the Arkham games at all
I did
or
not.
see them played? So
I've
there's a
seen
lot
them
of
played a little bit.
there's a lot of sequences in that like where you'll be in the ductwork underneath like an area and then you can go underneath the guy and pop out and like drag him in and
Yeah,
you can do like exactly that in Mark of the Ninja. There's a
yeah,
lot of moves that are very similar, but of course they're a lot more lethal in Mark of the
yeah,
Ninja.
yeah. I mean, when you're first starting out, a lot of the stealth kills are just like
Real
you're
quick.
on a ledge and you pull
Yeah.
a guy off the ledge or whatever, or
Right. Right.
you just come up behind them and stab them through the chest type of thing.
Right.
Oh, pretty basic, but eventually you can unlock additional ones, additional stealth attacks, stealth kills that allow you to like, okay, you're at a door and there's someone right behind the door. It's like, okay, you can open the door, grab the guy, kill him, pull him back out the door, and shut it.
Right.
And then
And if there's
just
nobody on the other side, like right there, then you can pretty much get away with it.
yeah, and it's like,
Hmm.
or there's ones where you can dangle down, kind of like the Spider-Man dangle.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I remember that. You
Yeah,
got like a grappling hook. You end up
yeah,
you have
that's
this like grappling hook that you can use to get to certain areas and stuff.
yeah.
I can't remember what it hooks onto. There's like specific points that you can hook
Yeah,
it onto.
there's like a lot of like telephone poles and like it'll
Yeah,
show you on very clearly what you can grapple onto. With it has a
right.
little hook icon on the screen. Those are the things you can grapple onto. But from any of those grapple points, you can dangle down, and you're able to do a stealth kill from dangling down if you're right over the target.
Yep.
So you can unlock a bunch of these different stealth kills, which give you more options for how to contend with these different guards. So it's really, really cool how they add that aspect to it as well. And but again, that adds to the whole problem solving element. It's like, okay, I have
Right.
these resources, which are, the kills that you have access to. How can I use these to, get rid of these guards to get to my target without raising the alarm?
Right.
Um,
And then of course there's, your utility belt full of
yep,
items.
yeah, all your items. Uh, like you start off, you have these bamboo darts, which you can use to just, you can hit gongs, you can, break utility boxes and stuff like that. Just,
Classic ninja item.
yeah. So you start off pretty much with that, and it's a very useful tool, just that alone. But eventually you're able to unlock things like smoke bombs, basically,
Caltrops.
yeah, caltrops,
Mm-hmm.
basically
I think
something, I think it's just called a distraction flare, which is basically a flashbang.
I think you get kunai too.
I don't
I'm
think so.
pretty
I
sure you
think
do. I thought
I
that
don't
was in
remember.
there.
I don't
Or
remember.
it's like throwing dagger or throwing knife or something like that. I can't remember what they call it, but there's
I
one that
actually I
kills.
take that back. I think there is something that is. I think it's like a poisoned kunai or something like that.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Um. You get noisemakers, and all of these different things. Like changes the tactics that you use to get through these different rooms. How you get these through these puzzles. Like
Right.
I remember there was one where I had to try to hit the button to call an elevator, and there was a guard and a dog in the room,
Yeah.
and they were just patrolling back and forth. And I didn't want to raise the alarm. I didn't want to, uh, because the unique thing about the dogs is they can smell you in the dark.
Right.
So they have this little radiating purple circle, and that if you get in within that circle, even if you're in the dark, they sense you.
They come right to you. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, well, I can either try to, is like they're out of range of the noisemaker. So what it did is, I had smoke bombs at that point. So I literally just threw a smoke bomb directly on top of them. They were both right on the switch. Jumped down into the smoke, hit the switch, jumped out, and they were distracted, but they weren't alerted.
Which
So
still counts as a win.
correct.
Right.
So it like those different things, you know, it really changes the dynamic of how you play it, and also like what kind of goals you're trying to go for. Because at the at the end of each level, you get points and honor and stuff for like how many guards you distracted, how many guards you killed, you know how many guards were alerted, and everything like that. And two bonuses that are at the end of each level are you get bonus points for not raising the alarm, for having no
Right.
alarms raised,
Right.
and you get bonus points for not killing anyone.
Which actually adds a lot to the replay value.
Yeah, having those different dimensions, because starting off, it is vastly easier to just go through the game killing all the guards.
Yep.
It's like it is very, very difficult to go through the game without killing any guards. Because I don't even think you get any way of knocking them out until much later in the game.
Um,
I think.
I
I
think
mean,
you're
at
right.
least that I didn't find. There
No, I
wasn't
think
it.
you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you have to wait until like certain items or something like that, or certain techniques, in order to just knock them out rather than just straight up killing them.
Right.
So for most of the game, you're either I leave them completely alone and just try to sneak past them, or I just flat out kill them.
Yep.
So needless to say, I did not get the no kills in my playthrough. Um, so it's extremely difficult to get both of them. Trying to not raise any
Yeah.
alarms while also not killing anyone,
Right. Well,
very difficult.
that's like ghost mode,
Yeah,
which I think is cool because there's games like Thief and Thief 2, which people, and I assume Thief 3. I mean, I played them all, but like people would always try to do ghost runs of those games, and I found them to be insanely difficult, but they were a lot of fun. So this game has some of that in it too. I like the fact that there's that challenge in there. So even if you do complete it, you can go back and try to do a ghost run, and it's frustrating but fun at the same time.
Yeah. And there also are certain unlocks that each level gives you like 3 challenges. Like I remember, I think in the second level, it was one of the challenges was get to the generator in under a minute. And so they have, each level has these 3 different challenges, and each one has kind of a different category. And those categories are relevant because they allow you to unlock different outfits, different like ninja armor and stuff like that, which does actually
affect
that
things.
Also changes your playstyle as well, because like certain outfits will make you better at just direct fighting. There's one I believe called Mark of Might or something like that, where it actually you can be a frontline attacker. You don't have to necessarily rely on stealth. There's another one where it's like it makes guards more likely to be terrorized.
Which could be fun.
Yeah.
But probably not.
Yeah, not so much. But
right.
Although I think you do actually get bonus points for terrorizing a guard.
Yeah, because then it becomes a lot harder to get around them.
True. True. But so like you get like three of those bonuses in a single category, and you unlock in one of the new outfits, which, like we said, it does change the way it like alters the number of certain items you can pick up, you can use, and so it does play a factor in the play style as well. But while I do agree this does have replay value because of the new game plus and everything, trying to unlock all of the bonuses and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's a different kind of replayability, other than like the Don't Starve and
it is still a story that they're trying to tell, and I mean it. Like you said, the levels are not randomized or anything. I don't think even the enemies are randomized. I think they're all the same. So
I think they're pretty much the same as well.
You have to kind of, some of it is a little bit kind of like achievement hunting, because it's like, okay, there's, aside from the reward of maybe unlocking another outfit or something, there's not really much you can unlock other than just to say that you did it, but some people like that, and I'm sure it's definitely good. I haven't done New Game Plus, so I don't know what all that adds, but I'm sure it's good for at least 2 playthroughs. I actually have not, like we were talking before the show started, like I haven't beaten it yet, but I definitely want to, and then if I do, I am definitely going to go back and try to do a ghost run.
Just trying to give yourself the even higher challenges and stuff. That element in itself adds to the replay value. Right. But I think we've covered pretty much all of it.
Yeah, man.
I can't think of anything else. All that to say that if you're really looking for a good like stealth platformer, this is definitely the go-to.
It is. Just if you're looking for like a really good stealth game in general, like one that's more recent, this is a good one for you. I mean, there's the market's not huge on stealth right now. I mean, you've got games like Dishonored and stuff, but aside from that, if you're looking at like modern games, there's not too much. So this is a good one. So this will scratch that itch.
Definitely. And with that,
I know what that means.
Yep. And since September isn't here, you're actually going to be competing against a dice. We're going to be doing the higher-lower version of the quiz. And
the random number gods are not with me, Sean.
But because of sleep deprivation, sleep deprivation, and just being busy in general, being a responsible adult and such. I only have 4 questions for this, so
it's cool, man. I prefer it that way.
I mean, granted, some of them are just like, how many of this thing is there in this thing? But you can deal with it.
I tend to get it wrong.
All right, question number 1. How many guards are in the first mission of the game? And the range is between 30 and 39, and the dice says 35, which is an incorrect answer. Is the correct answer higher or lower than 35?
Let's go higher. Damn it.
Okay, half a buzzer there.
That's all right. Does that mean I get half a point?
No, that means you get deducted even more points. It's 32.
Okay.
Yeah, 32 guards in the first level.
That seems like a lot. I don't remember that, but
yeah, the thing is, you might not encounter all of them, but there are 32 guards in the level.
Yeah, I skipped a lot. I'm sure I skipped a lot past a lot of them.
Yeah, because there's a lot of different pathways you can take to get past stuff. All right, question number 2. How many different stealth kills are in the game? The range is from 10 to 19. The dice says 13, which is incorrect. Is the correct answer higher or lower?
I think it's higher than that.
Higher than 13?
I think so.
Wrong.
Are you serious?
There are 11. 11 stealth kills.
Random number generator, man. It's killing me.
Hey, you have the opportunity to go higher or lower. So that's on you.
Yeah.
All right, question number...
He's going to get the last 2 right.
Well, hopefully. Question number 3. What is the current Metacritic rating for the game? The range is from 90 to 99, and the dice says 92 is the correct, which is incorrect. Is the correct answer higher or lower than 92?
I think it's higher than that. I think it would have to be higher than that, and I can't say that I'm quoting that because I haven't read the Metacritic. I have no idea what the actual score is, but I think it's higher than that.
It's 91.
It should be higher than that.
It should be. I agree, but it is currently 91.
All right, well, you're going down with me on that one then.
All right, last question. Question number 4. How many upgrades are in the techniques category of the game? The range is from 10 to 19. The dice says 19.
Lower.
Is the correct... Yeah, that one's pretty obvious. The correct answer is 14.
Okay, that's about what I was thinking anyways, actually, because I was looking at that earlier.
Yeah, and granted, a bunch of the stealth kills are unlocked there. I mean, they have some passive stuff like added armor and softer boots and stuff like that, but it adds a lot of the stealth kills there.
Yeah.
All right, so yep, that was short and sweet, and you did get one right, so
that's
you
all
get to keep your job.
Good. Thank you.
You get to keep the job that I'm not actually paying you for yet.
That's okay. That's it's good.
Yeah, we'll work on that. Patreon.
It's like volunteering. Right.
Yeah, help me to actually be able to pay September and Zach to do the show, and me too. That would help as well. But that's all we got. I don't think we've gotten any new patrons yet. No new reviews on iTunes yet, although I did actually do an advertisement on the morning stream, so hopefully we might be getting something from that.
Nice.
We'll see. There's supposed to be another one up at some point, probably Monday, so we'll see if we get anything from that. But the Patreon is now officially up and running. It has goals, it has rewards, description, all that jazz. So
fancy text.
As fancy as just the normal text is. Although
fancy.
I did update the banner and the icon, so.
Oh, nice! I haven't looked at that yet.
Yeah, I still need to do it for YouTube, but yeah, we got the new September's new hairstyle up there. So.
Hey, glad we're up with the times.
Yeah. All right, everyone. Thank you for joining us. If you find value in the show and would like to support us, you can at the aforementioned patreon.com/parttimegamers. You can also help us by subscribing to our YouTube channel or by giving us a 5-star review on iTunes. If you'd like to contact us, you can with our email, parttimegamers.cast@gmail.com, or on Twitter at PTGcast. You can find me on Twitter at Searanex or on Blizzard.net, or whatever we're calling it now. I think it's actually going back to Blizzard Battle.net now.
Is it really?
Yeah, I think they decided to just go ahead and keep the Battle.net.
What is going on with Blizzard? Can they just not make up their minds or something? Who's in charge over there?
I mean, I can understand why they did it, but I can also understand why they're keeping it. So
I guess we can't complain. They gave us free StarCraft, so we got what we wanted.
But you can find me on Blizzard Battle.net with the battle tag Searanex number 1996. You can find the show and the rest of my work at caffeineinducedproductions.com. Ember can be found at 9 of 12 on Twitter, on Blizzard Battle.net, 9 of 12, number 1102, and you can find her hosting the Geek Girls podcast, which is found at geekgirls.com. How about you, Zach?
When I'm on Blizzard.net, you can find me with the BlizzTag BattleNetTag.net, Zach Liff, number 1466.
Just add more words to that.
Hey, if they're going to keep on going back and forth, I reserve the right to call it whatever I want. That's all I got to say.
I guess. Anyway, everyone, until next time, hopefully it'll be more slept and English gooder. But we are the part-time gamers, and we're clocking out.